They see 5-7. They see a team that lost Patrick Mahomes, a guy who was a top 10 NFL draft pick, and a defense that's been suspect for a while. That last loss coming to San Diego State 1,097 days ago. 3 years and just 2 days as of Thursday, just to be exact. You know how long that is? Some people graduate in 3 years. I mean, not me, but, friends. You get the point. I think for Patrick, if you were to tell him, hey, if you were picked in the top 10 right now and you had to play your first year, he would take that ticket right now, and I think he'd be confident that he'd be able to change a franchise. A couple weeks ago, Danny Amendola, he's now a Ford model. I want to know how fast you picked up the phone saying, hey, man, can I get a discount code? If you talk with Jakeem Grant about his former quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, it's awfully reminiscent of Terrell Owens and Tony Romo, of course, minus the $500 shades and crocodile tears. That's my quarterback, he'll tell you. College baseball without Augie Garrido just doesn't have the same ring to it. I just can't believe it. But has it actually sunk in for you now that you're not going to be?
I don't think so. I don't think it has.
For most, junior college is a second chance. An opportunity to wipe the slate clean and press the restart button. That's exactly the case for South Plains basketball players Jordan Brangers and Josh Webster.
Coming out of high school, I didn't have a lot of offers, only had one D2 offer.
Entering Christian Brothers College High School in St. Louis, Missouri, Webster was 5'3". By his senior year, he had shot up to 6 foot, but his stock with coaches didn't see that same meteoric rise.
That's when I made my choice to go a different route.
But for Brangers, the road was arguably that much tougher. A rocky road saw him drop out of Louisville Eastern and unsure if it would be the end of his career.
Honestly, during that stage of my life, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I really didn't see myself playing college basketball after that.
But that was before he picked up the phone. On the other end, South Plains head coach Steve Green.
Coach Green gave me the opportunity to come down here 15 hours away. It was a big-time second chance. It really uplifted my spirits.
But it wasn't the only call he would receive. Branger's brother, Jermaine Rutley, played for Texas Tech head coach Chris Beard last season at Arkansas Little Rock. And as fate would have it, a dash of luck and also hard work brought Webster and Brangers another break.
My brother Jermaine, he told me, because he had the UNLV job, and he was like, he actually just left and went to Texas Tech, and I was like, that's crazy. Man, what if he comes down here, tries to recruit some of us? And that's exactly what happened. After traveling a combined 2,030 miles to continue their junior college careers right here at the Texan Dome, turns out their journey to the Division I level was much shorter. This time landing at a school just 30 miles down the road that one of them had never heard of. Then I looked it up, Texas Tech was only 30 minutes down the road.
I'll listen to Jermaine no matter what, but when Jermaine tells me, hey, my brother can play, it was more than one of just those, what'd you say? I was like, hey, come here, go sit down, turn your phone off, what? And then Josh is just a true floor general, knows how to run a team on offense and defense.
But there's still unfinished business. The Texans ranked #1 in the latest junior college rankings, a perfect 20-0 on the year. And before Beard gets them to make the trip down 114, there's still one goal left in mind.
Win the national championship. That's enough said.
Well,
just title dreams?
Yeah.
For Red Raider Nation, I'm Andrew Doak. Hey there, welcome to Red Raider Nation. I'm Andrew Doak. Last time Texas Tech faced the Jayhawks, they were just outside the top 25. Tournament hopes alive and well. Now 4-7 in the Big 12 entering this matchup. The Red Raiders weren't even on the bubble. They were just flat out on the outside looking in. March of 2009 was Tech's last win over Kansas. The Red Raiders had lost 17 straight to Rock Chalk. Been saying it for a while now. This Texas Tech team's just going to go as far as Keenan Evans takes them. 17 points for Evans just in the first half. 6 for 7, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. He was Tech's Batman all game. What gave the Jayhawks a 7-point lead at the break, though, and some heat-seeking missiles from deep. Devontae Graham and Josh Jackson, the filthy step back, 6 triples in the first half, gave him a 42-35 lead at the break. KU led by as many as 10 in the second half. Tech chipping away, though, turnover, and Naeem Stevenson flushing it on the other end. Knots it up at 59. You think Chris Beard likes that right there? He's fired up, man. Huge second half from Naeem. Finished with 22 points, 14 of them, all in the second half. Daryl Dora likes it. Hey, he's a Kansas killer. Repeat offender. Another big storyline, just over 3 to play, Anthony Livingston. Drawing Frank Mason into a charge. He'd pick up his 5th foul. He gone. So just over a minute to play. Tech down 2. They got to have a bucket. Zach Smith delivers. If Keenan was Batman, Stevenson and Smith, they were the 2 Robins Smith finished with a double-double, 21 points, 10 boards. So 5.4 seconds, it's a 79-79 ball game. KU's got it, and Josh Jackson gets the whistle. Keep an eye on the screen, though. Looked like KU might have gotten away with the moving screen right there. Jackson would go to the line. Second time in the last 2 games that a foul within the last 5 seconds would come back to bite him. Jackson would hit 1 of 2 free throws, and Keenan Evans' desperation shot won't go. That was the final nail in the coffin as Tech fell to number 3 Kansas, 80-79. Chris Beard not happy with the pick on the final play. That is a tough pill to swallow. Meanwhile, Katie Whitaker's Lady Raiders followed tonight. Tech trying to snap a 7-game skid that started against the Sooners last month. During the skid, the Lady Raiders have lost all but one of those games by double digits. First half, this was about the bench. Lady Raiders getting 21 points off the pine. Dio Olabode get buckets. 5 for 5 from the field, 2 for 2 from deep in the first half. Hold up, Tech was up by 11 at the half. Here's where it got a little bit ugly, though. Tech with 19 turnovers in the game, 7 in the third quarter alone. Gabby Ortiz taking it coast to coast. All of a sudden, the Sooners lead by 4. Katie Whitaker kind of feeling this game slipping away. But when you need a big shot, who you going to call? Olabode. 1-point lead. Tech reclaims it. Olabode finishing with the team high 15, but the Sooners just too much down the stretch. Chelsea Dungy says coffee is for closers. Game high 18 as the Sooners take the cake 64-56. Out to Fayetteville, Tyson Invitational. Trey Culver just doing Trey Culver things. Decent weekend, clearing 7-1 there on the high jump, finishing 4th in the Ozarks. Vernishi Latham, a big day in the triple jump. A PR, a jump of 43 8 3/4, a lifetime best indoor school record. And after a cool 365 off due to injury, jumping unattached, former Red Raider Ja'Cory Duffield flying high, setting an indoor PR, 7'6" and 1/2. He was your Tyson winner. Yeah, I mean, he was the guy who could have been jumping at the Olympics, but just was hurt all of last year. And obviously we saw Bradley Atkins there, but just I'm sure you'll see him the next Olympics come around because he is unbelievable to watch. Tech softball, by the way, picking up a pair of wins Saturday at the CenturyLink Classic down in San Marcos, defeating Iowa 7-4. Then they shut out Abilene Christian 3-0 tonight. Red Raiders are 3-1. They're 1 win away from their best start since 2013. They close out play in San Marcos tomorrow against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, who's 0-4. First pitch slated for noon. And then meanwhile, the Tech women's tennis team fallen to number 1 Florida, 4-1 in the quarterfinals of the ITA Division I National Indoor Championships. Sophomore Felicity Maltby, she was really one of the bright spots, second straight top 25 win. And the Lady Raiders, they continue play at the ITA Indoor National Championship in a consolation match. Time and opponent still to be determined. So tough weekend for Tech hoops.
Man.
Didn't turn out the way that you wanted. It looked so bright for both of them. The men have an opportunity to win it late. It just doesn't work out in the final 5 seconds where you have a foul call for the second straight game that doesn't go your way. It sends them to the line. It comes back to bite you. And then for the Lady Raiders, you had an 11-point lead at the half against a number 19 team in the country. And just in the second half, those turnovers bite you, 19 on the day. And so, it just kind of leaves you speechless because you're just so close right there, but it just doesn't, the deck just doesn't fall your way. So tough night for Tech hoops, and right now at this point, they really just have to win games down the stretch for any type of postseason play, whether that's the WNIT or the men's NIT, because right now I think they would have to really go on a run and really win the remaining games left to be able to make the NCAA tournament or to really even have a shot. So got to stack these wins together right now. We can't really have any more days where we're losing ball games and make it to postseason play. So
hoping for some more wins. All right,
Yep.
Thank you, Andrew. We have more coming up after the break.
Hey there, welcome into Red Raider Nation. I'm Andrew Doak. This fall, Nick Shimanek will be joining a long list of Texas Tech quarterbacks who've waited until their senior years for their shot to start. One of those quarterbacks that Cliff Kingsbury likens Shimanek to, B.J. Simmons. Why, you ask? He says he's not afraid of anyone. On an ESPN podcast earlier this week, Kingsbury even said at one point this offseason he had to pull him aside in practice to tell him he can't punch people in the face even if they have a helmet on. no matter how charged up he is. That's the type of fiery attitude he can't wait to see leading the team onto the field in 2017. Meanwhile, the weight of the world was bearing down on Cliff Kingsbury going into year 5. He remained cool under pressure in Frisco, even when his much maligned defense was questioned by a reporter from the Llano News who really wanted to know why he couldn't find 15 or 20 guys in the whole country who could keep opposing offenses under 30 points a game. It was a legit question, even one Kingsbury said he wished he had the answer to. But what Kingsbury is banking on is continuity, the fact that his team played more freshmen last year than anyone in the country. His freshmen actually taking 508 more snaps than the next closest team, which was Kansas. Is this the year Tech fans see returns under David Gibbs? Well, he joined ESPN's Championship Drive podcast to discuss. Hey, sign me up for it. By the way, Texas Tech announcing this afternoon they've agreed to a contract extension with head coach Todd Petty that runs through the 2022 season. He's put this program on the map. 3 straight Sweet 16 appearances, including last season. They had their first Elite 8 appearance. They got things rolling over there.
Every day you got to get better. Every single day.
That's where you see what you made of that.
One of the guys you can hear from on Last Chance U, Dakota Allen, former and now current Texas Tech linebacker. When this came on, you saw
I
the
was so
fist
excited.
pump.
I love this show.
You were excited
I love
about
it. And I forgot Dakota Allen will be on it.
It is. He's
Yeah.
actually one of the featured players on it. He talks about coming back from a felony. This is a really cool show. And if you haven't watched it, get into it.
Yeah, it's
because
really
last season was great, and,
Yeah.
and hopefully season 2, I'm sure it won't
Sure
disappoint.
it will be.
So.
Hopefully. All right.
Yep.
Yes, can't wait for that. We're back.
Red Raider Nation.
This ball hit well. This is going to be trouble. This ball's gone.
Quite a few Red Raiders here now.
There goes the runner. Ball hit hard down the right field line. This is for extra bases. Hardgrove rounding third, and the Red Raiders have a 2-1 lead. There goes the runner. 1-2. Strike 3 call, and that ends the ball game. Texas Tech comes to town, and their pitching staff does a marvelous job holding Texas to just 2 hits in the ball game. Come away with a 2-1 victory.
Chippiness was alive after Game 1. Welcome into Red Raider Nation. I'm Andrew Doak. Of all the accomplishments of Tim Tadlock as Texas Tech's head coach, of which obviously there are many, few were much sweeter than what he pulled off on the 40 acres in 2015, becoming the first Red Raider head coach to win his first 2 series at Texas. With a win today, he can make it 3 straight. How fitting it would be with how the series have gone since 2012. Each road team winning the annual 3-game set. Texas has it cooking in the top of the first, 2 on, 1 out. Looks like an easy 1-6-3 double play, but instead Gingery airmailing it into center field, bringing home Travis Jones, and it's 1-0 Texas. Then in the third, couple times through, Josh Young finally getting a beat on Morgan Cooper. That's into center field, brings in Michael Davis. The game tied at 1 apiece. Then later in the frame, Michael Berglund. How clutch has he been in the 5-1-2? That brings home Josh Young from second, and Tech takes their first lead of the game, 2-1. In the 5th, Tech threatening once more. No, actually, this is one of the awesome defensive plays. You want to know why Tech's defense is ranked the top in the nation? Because of plays like that from Ryan Long. SportsCenter top 10 there to start the inning. That wouldn't be the end from Texas, though. 7th, Tech in trouble again. Patterson on a relief of Gingery. After a throwing error, runners at second and third, no outs for Texas. And Patterson strikes out 3 straight Texas hitters. Unbelievable. A great Tech crowd there. You think that pumped him up right there? Jose Quezada would come in late to close things down with 1 out left. Michael Davis would clinch this series with the 27th out. For the first time in school history, Tech has now won 3 straight road series in Austin. Tech winning Game 2, 2-1, with a chance to break out the brooms tomorrow. First pitch set for Sunday at 1 p.m. If you love the pitching and defense